Thank you, Anthony. Before I deliver a short paper, I'd like to recognize the presence of our Prime Minister, Honourable James Marape, the presence of the President of Bougainville, Honourable Ismail Toroama. I also would like to recognize our regional member, Honourable Peter Chamalili. And I think among us is also Minister for Agriculture, DPI, from the Autonomous Bougainville Government, Honourable Geraldine Paul. Most welcome. I would also like to recognize, and he may be here, Sir Moyave, who is board member of Bougainville Copper Limited. And before I start, I'd also like to thank P&G Core for giving me the opportunity to speak, but particularly by elevating me to this session rather than the last session. So it goes to say that, the humble shall be exalted. Matthew 23:12. So on behalf of Bougainville Copper Limited, thank you for the opportunity to give our case at this session. As Bougainville looks to the future with a sense of hope and optimism, the Panguna mine offers transformative potential. In many respects, it is positioned to be the foundational major project of a reinvigorated Bougainville. And while Bougainville is charting the way to redevelop under our recently extended exploration license that was given to us by the Minister for Mining, as well as the President of Bougainville, we are ready to move. One thing I'd like to emphasize is that it is a well-defined and proven resource with very significant upside. When it last operated in 1972 to 1989, Panguna was among the world's largest open-cut copper mine. It produced more than 3 million tons of copper concentrate, almost 11 million ounces of gold, and about 27 million ounces of silver. Those are significant numbers. As we know now, this is just part of the story, as according to the 2023 resource statement, at least 5.3 million tons of copper, 19 million ounces of gold remain in situ, in the ground. This could sustain at least another 2 decades of production, longer, given the potential for further mineral discoveries at depth within the license area, and also of renewed exploration activities. The prospect of a Panguna Mark II also comes at a time when global demand for copper will continue to test the existing supply. As something of a known brownfield project with the potential to be back up and running years ahead of any equivalent scale greenfield project, there is a window for great opportunity for Bougainville Copper and the Bougainville people. Bougainville's current status. Let me just go through it a little bit. As a local company with an intimate knowledge of Bougainville, its history, culture, and sensitivities, BCL is uniquely placed to move Panguna forward. We are an ASX-listed public company headquartered in Port Moresby with a well-established presence in Bougainville. Following the departure of Rio Tinto in 2016, the autonomous Bougainville government and landowners, along with national government, hold about 36.45% each and the 27.1% to the other investors. National government, as we heard the Prime Minister today, is committed to transfer its share to Bougainville, and that is ongoing and in the process. There are obvious advantages to this, with a common purpose to see Panguna succeed for the benefit of Bougainville and its people. 4 of our 6 directors are Bougainvillean, and the board includes the former chairman of OCTEDI, as I say, Sam Moyave, and also the former MD and CEO, Peter Graham. So we do have a strong board. Our management team and employees on the ground are also predominantly Bougainvilleans, while former senior executives of OCTEDI are also providing BCL with strategic advice and corporate advice. 2024 was a year of progress for BCL. This year has been one of real progress for both BCL and Panguna project. Following a period of uncertainty regarding tenure, President Ismail Toroama, as Minister for Mining and Petroleum, announced in January this year the extension of BCL's license. This is an important milestone for BCL. And President did at that time made clear the preeminence of Panguna project in Bougainville's plans for economic and social development. From BCL's perspective, securing tenure as a result of a long period of constructive collaboration underpinned by trust and mutual respect has been significant in our moving forward. Then in November, following negotiations with project area customary landowners, a land access and compensation agreement was signed, which is something that's stipulated in the Bougainville Mining Act 2015. What is the business case for Bougainville? BCL's historical intellectual property, IP, relating to Panguna deposit, including vast amounts of geological data, technical reports, and studies, is proving invaluable in terms of guiding our work. We have also, as I said, engaged specialists in this area to shore up business cases, explore financial models, and potential investment structures as well as a mining partnership for opportunities. Social mapping and land identification updates are currently ongoing, and we are moving forward in that area as well. Project scale, this is interesting. I did mention a few of that now, but in terms of resource scale and grade, as some of the slides will show, Panguna compares favorably to other similar non-deposits, both in our region and further afield, with a resource of approximately 9.3 million tons of copper equivalents. There is also potential for additional mineralization in the pit itself at depth, because it's open at depth, as well as new exploration opportunities, as I mentioned previously. Production and financial modeling. To support early levels of production and revenue generation, operations could commence initially at a processing rate of about 20 million tons a year, ramping up to 60 million tons a year. Assuming a conservative production approach to support a substantial environmental footprint, copper production of 150,000 tons and gold production of 500,000 ounces per annum are indicative averages. A mine life of approximately 20 years could be expected for Panguna Mark II, with potential for this to be extended, as is not uncommon for projects of this magnitude. Excuse me. Sorry. Early estimates suggest that Panguna could generate, this is important, this is only early estimates, that Panguna could generate at least 120 billion kina, that is 36 billion US, in revenue, with 40 billion kina in direct benefits. Why does Panguna make sense? Briefly to summarize, it is a brownfield project that is ready to go with an established resource that is logistically accessible. Copper is an essential input in renewable energy with demand forecast to grow and global supply gap already starting to be anticipated. As project lead, BCL is a local company with well-established relationship in Bougainville. BCL holds the IP, which is not available to others. The strong endorsement of ABG and the landowners provide real impetus. Stakeholders are very critical to BCL. This last point cannot be overstated. BCL recommenced its formal engagement in Bougainville back in 2012 when it was invited by ABG and the landowners. Since that time, we have dedicated ourselves to building respectful and trusting relationship with stakeholders at all levels of the community, both in the project area and more broadly. The commitment culminated in the awarding of the ELO1 extension, as I mentioned earlier, in January this year, and the signing of LACA, which is a land access and compensation agreement, a significant milestone, really totemic and significant. As a company, we place enormous value on the support provided by ABG, landowners, and their communities alike, and are thankful for the trust they had placed on us. The ongoing support of the stakeholders helps, and the landowners, helps to de-risk the project and will be invaluable when it comes to attracting credible mining partner to work with BCL to advance the project through to exploration, production, and beyond. Next steps, looking ahead, we anticipate that 2025 will be another year of progress. We plan to present our preliminary financial models and proposed investment structure to ABG to gain support, actively pursue opportunities for prospective mining partners. Ideally, we will secure partnership and other arrangement required to take things further forward, and in this vein, we will also advance pre-feasibility and full feasibility studies necessary to provide, to make sure that the project is bankable. With land access agreements in place with landowners, activities on the ground will certainly increase, and we will scale up our external resources and engagement with external goods and services providers as required. Importantly, BCL is committed to total transparency in working with our stakeholders and partners to advance what is vital for Bougainville and its people. So in summary, Panguna project presents an enormous opportunity for our shareholders, landowners, prospective mining partners, and investors alike. For Bougainville, its people, and the region more broadly, it will bring substantial benefit and investment. Everything from new job opportunities to interrelated business and industry development and opportunities are all necessary for economic and social advancement of the island. As a rare yet well-known resource, Panguna redevelopment now beckons. Its time has come. Thank you.